Today in Stadia News, we're going to be going over the latest headlines, including a possible expansion to Australia, but before we get into that, I want to quickly go over some of the latest additions to the Stadia storefront. Stadia Pro members can add the 6 games added to the Pro library this month, which include Life is Strange Remastered Collection, Cosmic Star Heroine, Nanotale Taping Chronicles, Merrick's Market, One Hand Clapping, and Fox. If you were new to Stadia and decide to sign up for Stadia Pro, you would get instant access to over 50 games, quite an impressive number to say the least. Other additions to the Stadia storefront this week include MotoGP 21, which is available for $39.99, and MotoGP 20 will have its price reduced to $29.99. And if you're looking for a sweet deal, be sure to check out the indie game sale, which is now live with over 40 plus titles. With Stadia being free for anyone to access, every user can get deals of up to 75% off, with Pro subscribers getting up to 85% off. And looking further ahead, if you happen to be a Risk of Rain 2 fan, you can look forward to the Summoners of the Void expansion to arrive Q2 this year. It'll include new survivors, levels, items, monsters, and much more. And with that out of the way, let's move on to the big news story of the day, and that's a possible region expansion happening in Australia. We recently discussed on the channel how registration for Stadia was complete in Brazil. Well, now it's happened for Australia. There's a very real chance that more countries may follow soon. After all, last time that Stadia announced their expansion, it was a bunch of countries at once and not just one at a time. It's important to remind ourselves that this doesn't guarantee that Stadia is going to be launching immediately in Australia. It may still be some time before we see that happen, but it does point toward the direction of this being a possibility sometime down the road, or in the near future at the very least. I've stated multiple times that I do think it's key for Stadia to expand to find any sort of success. The more countries that get supported, the bigger the player base will be, with a higher chance of those AAA titles and big indie hits to make their way over. Let me know what country you would like to see Stadia get support down in the comments section below, but before we wrap this news day up, I quickly want to go over a fun headline. In case you have money to burn, the launch team exclusive Clear Stadia controller is up on eBay for purchase. It's an extremely rare controller as it was only given as a gift to launch team members. They weren't functional whatsoever, but this one was actually modified to be used and played with. They actually used the Founders Edition controller and swapped the insides into this, which means you have fully functional charging, vibrations, and everything else you can think of, and when used on Stadia, it will show up as a Founders Edition controller being connected. I did say that you need to have some money to burn, and that's because the current bid is set at $910 US. That's certainly out of my price bracket, but maybe one of you out there want to pick this up. It may be your only chance to do so, considering just how rare these controllers are. That was going to be the last news story of the day, but as I was recording, some new Ubisoft news just hit, and that's a new game arriving on Stadia March 24th, and it's called Oddballers. It's a frantic local and online party game for up to 6 players, where you get to use your skill and brutally unfair tactics to screw over your friends in hilariously unpredictable tournaments, where each round is a zany new type of dodgeball. By the looks of it, this was an indie game that is now being published by Ubisoft, and because of that, it's actually being brought over to Stadia and other streaming platforms. There wasn't an official trailer shown, just these screenshots. It does seem like a pretty fun little party game, but I am curious as to what made them announce this out of the blue like that. Regardless, it's great to see another title heading to Stadia thanks to Ubisoft. And with that, we wrap up this Stadia News Day. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. As always, this has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.